Greetings everybody, it's only from Pages and Ink, and today I am doing my final video, and this video is going to be my book talk on The Crown's Game by Evelyn Skye. So this book I was super excited for. Like, the moment that I saw that it was being released in 2016, like, I knew nothing about it beforehand. But back in January, I looked at all the books coming out this year, because I was trying to see what other books were coming out, and also what days the books that I knew were coming out were going to be released. And I saw this one, and I really liked the cover. I thought it was really interesting, and I liked the title. I was like, ooh, what's this going to be about? So I read the synopsis, the summary of it, and I was like, oh, this sounds really awesome. So as soon as I could put in a pre-order, not like as soon as the pre-orders started, but as soon as I could, personally, as soon as I wanted to put in a pre-order, I did. I got a bunch of cool stuff. So I got, I believe, a bookmark, and I have some trading cards for the characters. I have Vika, Nikolai, and Pasha. And I also received, if I can reach it, this totally awesome invitation with a wax seal for Pasha's birthday ball. And the back is also the cover, and it's got her signature on it. And my book is signed. My book is signed, and there's a quote from the book, which I didn't realize was from the book until I read it. And it's probably my favorite book from the my favorite quote from the book as well. So this book is about It's a historical fiction based on Russia, which when I was looking at some reviews, some of them said that it doesn't accurately present Russia, even though I feel like it should, because she's studied Russian literature, she's been to Russia multiple times. I feel like it should. But anyway, so this book is about two enchanters and the Tsarevich, or something, the future Tsar, the prince, and, you know, of course a couple other characters, but it's about a enchanter's battle between Vika and Nikolai, who are two enchanters of Russia. And there can't be two enchanters in this world because their power comes from, like, this power well kind of thing, and there's only so much of it, so they have to only have one person be able to control the magic. So the Crown's Game's purpose is they compete to be the Tsar's enchanter, and the person who loses dies. And along the way, so after they make each move of theirs in the battle, they become closer, as well as the Tsarevich, the Prince Pasha, kind of starts to fall for Vika. And that's about where the summary really goes, beyond just some backgrounds of the characters. There's also, you know, long since buried secrets, things that characters don't know and whatever. Okay, so I don't really know how to do this review without spoiling it, because there's just a lot there that could potentially be considered a spoiler. So if you haven't read it yet, I would go, just because I don't want to ruin the book for you in case you enjoy it better than I do. I will tell you that I rated it 3 out of 5 stars, because it just did not live up to what I thought it was going to be based on the summary. I'm not talking about my own I'm not necessarily talking about my own expectations for it. I'm talking about, based on what I read, this was not what I was expecting. So if you're gonna go, you should. I don't want to ruin it for you. So they're gone. Okay. Have you guys ever seen Wizards of Waverly Place? Do you know what that show is about? Have you seen, like, the like final episode or the movie where they're actually doing the wizards competition to see who gets to become the family wizard? I was expecting something like that, with, like, ancient ruins, and they have to cast spells at each other, you know, like Harry Potter duels, but this was nothing at all like that. Basically, when they go up to take their oath, the Tsar is like, your task is to impress my son. Interesting. Let's see where this goes. So it's the prince's birthday week. So the spells that they cast, or the enchantments that they made, were kind of in preparation for his birthday. Like, starting with Nikolai. Nikolai went first. So, Nikolai painted the town, Vika made a colorful fountain in the river, Nikolai made 2 giant puppets that he, like, controlled, Vika made an island, Nikolai decorated the island. Yeah, that's exactly what it sounds like. And the first couple moves were interesting because it really showed the danger of magic and the danger that they're in this competition. Like, hold on, I'm gonna move this down.
Hello. It's a little too far. Me.
I feel like that's back to where it was. But anyway, so Nikolai's first move, he created stone birds, and as soon as Vika stepped out of her apartment where she was staying, or her flat, or whatever, the stone birds attacked her, and she had to call up bird army of her own and to fight them, and then I eventually just outsmarted them because there's too many loss of lives for the little birds, which is sad. So Vika's counterattack was she tried to drown him by dragging him underwater by like a tendril of water. See, Nikolai's magic, I guess I should have said that at the beginning. Nikolai's magic is very material based, so he makes things, whereas Vika's are very natural based. So she controls natural things, like she can affect the weather, and she can control the elements, and she can heal minor wounds, like things that aren't too broken, and like anything that's like not too fatal. So then his next move was needles, which was interesting. And then like after, and she tries to kill him with lightning. That was one of her moves. I forgot about that. Which is weird because I don't. Oh, and Nikolai made magical dressers. One for Vika, which was like the imagination wardrobe or something, or their wardrobes or something like that. I think they're dressers actually, though. And one changed normal clothing into stuff for Pasha's masquerade ball for his birthday. But like from that point up onward, it like they're from the dressers and up, their magic was like less dangerous. They didn't attack each other. They like worked together in a way because they were getting closer together even without really knowing each other, which was super weird. In this book, there is like a love square or like a triangle with like a little off part that's just like hanging off. So there's Vika, Nikolai, and Pasha as like the 2 ends, and then there's Renata. Renata is into Nikolai, and her relationship with Nikolai, even though they're just friends, is more believable than his relationship with Vika. So I was like, I would have rather have them get together. First of all, it eliminates the love triangle. Second of all, she's been there for him, and I don't really like the characters that are like, I've known you forever, I am entitled to your love, because she's not like that. It kind of did, in a way, feel like that, but I feel like if anybody should have a relationship, it's him and her, because he knows about her ability to read tea leaves, she knows about his magic. She has been there for him and protected his identity, and he has, you know, protected hers and befriended hers and kind of looks out for her in a way. Vika and Nikolai like barely know anything about each other and barely talk. The only thing they really have for one another is like this connection as being enchanters. They understand each other, and I'm like, that's good, but you can have friends and understand each other. So it didn't fit very well, even though in the beginning I was like, I ship them, because you know it's a big plot thing that they're falling for each other. But I would have rather have her dated Pasha. That would have been interesting. The magic of the book was awesome, even though it wasn't as dangerous as they kept saying. They're like, magic is dangerous, magic is dangerous. In the beginning it really was, because they were going after each other and trying to kill each other. But then, like, after the dressers, they'd stopped. They were working together and kind of playing with each other in a way. Like, they were still in the competition, but they were doing it together. So that was interesting. But it lost its danger, and it wasn't as interesting without it. Like, I would have liked to see maybe some backlash beyond the fact that eventually, because at the beginning Sergei, Vika's father gives her this bracelet, and it actually is able to take his energy and let Vika use it for her magic, so she has an edge over Nikolai, and it kills him because she's taking up all his energy. She doesn't know about it, so she just thinks she has all this power, and she doesn't. She ends up killing her father, which is terrible. But I forgot where I was going with this. So beyond that, there was like no other repercussions really. I mean, they got tired, but like it wasn't, it didn't have lasting effects beyond that, and I was just kind of like, it loses its danger in a way. It's not as believable that magic is dangerous as it is something that is beautiful. It was just interesting. And like the danger of the game itself, like the fact that they were going to die came up quite a bit, but it was like drowned out with the fact that Pasha was into Vika, and Vika kind of likes Nikolai, even and the relationship between her and Pasha, even though I was like, oh, that would work, honestly, just like Nikolai and Vika, they don't know anything about each other. Vika feels like a very undeveloped character, even though we know where she came from and we do see things in her perspective. I feel like I know a lot more about Nikolai than I do Vika. And also, Pasha has one dance with her, has like 2 other conversations with her, and he's like, I love this girl. I love her. And I'm like, dude, do you know how to work relationships? I mean, you can meet somebody and be like, I love them, but you know nothing about them. They could be absolute assholes that just look really attractive or have like a super nice laugh. So it just, I feel like you really have to know somebody in order to be able to say, I love you. Otherwise, it's very big infatuation and just kind of kills everything. I did want to say that Evelyn Skye as a writer works very well in the background, and by this I mean there's a lot of foreboding elements and a lot of things that we may not pay attention to that end up being really important. For example, Ludmila, the bakery woman, ends up kind of being a maternal figure to Vika, and honestly it'd be really interesting if it turns out that Ludmila is actually Vika's mother and like a human skin, because you find out that Vika's actually the daughter of like a volcano fire nymph, which doesn't really make any sense unless like she had sex with a human in order to make Vika, and Vika just takes on her human qualities, which is kind of weird. How would that work? I mean, like, wouldn't the nymphs be like really hot and like, I don't mean like attractive hot, I mean like warm in temperature and like on fire? I feel like that's weird. Or what if she's Pasha and Nikolai's like half sister? Like, that would be crazy. But I mean, it's happened. A lot of the plot twists just kind of threw me off. Some of them, at one point, I was able to figure out, and then other things I predicted were going to happen didn't actually happen, so I think she does really good with that. There's just a lot of things I think really needed improving on, and I'm really excited for the next book because I'm hoping that she will grow more, and we will be able to see more development, especially in Vika, and maybe some more of a basis for Nikolai and her's relationship, or even just hers and Pasha's. Maybe they get along better because at the end it's not like a very good relationship between them. But yeah, so that is all I really have to say about that. So this is my last video for the day, and I will try to make a video on Monday and go back to my usual Monday, Wednesday kind of thing that I've been trying to do. Or it might just be Wednesdays. don't know. At the end of my Top 5 Wednesday, I told you guys I was currently reading Zodiac by Ramina Russell, and I just wanted to say that now because this is probably the next book you're going to see a book talk on. It still smells good. This is a big book. So far, I'm not that far into it. I haven't really felt like reading lately. But so far, it's not bad. A lot of the things that are throwing me off about this book is there's a lot of stuff that are only in this world as sci-fi. So there's like these things that they have that I don't know what they are until like it's explained. Like there's this one thing that's like a map of the stars, but they're able to like psychologically like tap into it in a way, and they're like able to read the stars. I'm like, that's cool, but what is it? Is it a map, or is it like do they have suction cups? Like, what is it? It doesn't, but I was just kind of like, how does this work? But, yeah, so that's all I have for you guys today. I will see you guys next time. I love you guys. Have you read The Crown's Game? What did you think? What are you currently reading? Let me know in the comments down below. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching as always. I hope you guys are enjoying reading and are reading happily. Have a good one.